Hello. I really have to change lighting on here. That's fine. Let's just go with it today. Today I am going to talk to you about the death and rebirth portal. And if you've been watching the last few days, you've actually seen me go through it in like real time. And it wasn't until this morning when I was sort of journaling and just like writing down everything that came up. There's like, of course, it's my death and rebirth portal. I go through this every single month. I should know this by now. Yet, because I'm so much in it, I didn't realize I was going through it. But this is exactly the work that I do, not just on myself, like essentially every single month, but also with my clients. And it's always easier to see it from the outside looking in, rather than being really on the inside and just like, being in it yourself. So with the death and rebirth portal, as women, as cyclical beings, we go through these like every single month. Like us getting our cycle, and it's just the biggest death and rebirth portal that we can be in, really. So, and because I'm very much aware and I'm going with that sort of flow and with my cyclical like being, I feel these portals like a lot, like very much a lot. And that part of me is actually really glad and grateful that over the past 2 days I've actually come online and sort of shared with what's been going on, what I've been going through, what my thought process are and on like these different things, because you got to see it in real time. Because like waking up this morning, so it's day 3 of my cycle, and it's not necessarily like only like 2 days like the death portal. It can be a lot longer. But like me waking up this morning, I can start the energy, I can start feeling the energy changing. I'm feeling whatever, you understand what I mean. The energy is changing and I can feel that. So I'm going from like this like real like shedding process of like things that like don't serve me, like ideas and stories, thoughts, feelings, emotions, like everything that like my body has been holding and my inner landscape has been holding, my womb has been holding, that's been shedding. So like these, like when I was talking about like yesterday about me doubting like my business and whether or not I should go into a paid job, that is just like me shedding the stories that I have to do work, or work and life has to look a certain way, which is what I grew up with. I have to have a 9 to 5. I need to have a predictable income, which needs to be same every single month. And it just needs to be, it needs to like life and work needs to look like a certain way, right? And like me going through that doubting process has shut, I'm not saying all of that because it's like deep underlying conditioning, but I'm shedding more and more every single month. And which is why I yesterday said, number one, just to check in with yourself and like what does your body feel like? What do your guides say if you work with your guides? But also do not make these decisions, these life-changing decisions on a low, on a day where it feels like quite low. Make decisions from a high. So if you want to like, quit your business or quit whatever it is, don't do it from a low point. Do it from a higher point. Do it from a point in your cycle where your energy feels like it's rising, like you're feeling energetic. And I'm not saying like, you know, you have to be like all happy dubby all of the time, because that's not what it is. That's not what cyclical living is, and that's not what like living like with your womb and everything like is like. You do have your, as I said, like your ups and downs, because that's what we're meant to do. Our hormones fluctuate. But it's really coming back to yourself and what it is that you want to do. And I think one of the things that, like in this like linear world that we live in, what we've like really forgotten is to like check in with ourselves and know how to listen to our bodies. And like this death and rebirth portal that we go through as women every single month is like the best place to like really start to check in with you and like check in with your body and what's actually going on, what your inner landscape is like. Because one of the things that I do with my clients is like very early on is just to see what the inner landscape looks like. And you can just, you don't need me for that. You can just like sit down and just check in with yourself. And just ask yourself, what does my inner landscape look like? And then see what comes up. Obviously, if we're doing this together, I will guide you through a journey and all of it. But you can start this work really by yourself and really start thinking like, what is it that I want? What is it that my body wants? And with this disconnection from our bodies, when our heads, we've been taught that for our head to override our like intuition, our body. We've got so much wisdom inside of us, so much knowledge. And because we've been told to like think and be strategic, and we have to do things a certain way, all of that has really overridden the like inner magic that we've got, like especially as cyclical beings. And like listening to your body knows the answer before your head does. So, and just to like, for you to maybe just try to do like a little experiment. And the next time you have to make a decision, and this does not have to be a big decision, it can be as little as what's for lunch. And then just let your body answer. Especially with like food questions, it is really, really interesting, because I've done this myself, where when I started to like really reconnecting to my body, and I started to like ask. So I'm a planner, if you haven't realized yet. So on the weekend, I sit down and sort of plan our food, so I can obviously do the food shop. And like the best example is like this week, where I came on a day late. So my cycle started a day late, and I can't remember what I planned for lunch. It was definitely not what I had. And then I was just like really feeling into it. I was like, no, I don't want that. I want some salmon, some smoked salmon, because that's what I had at home. So I ate that. And it's just like, these are just so like little things, but especially when it comes to food and like movement and like our daily actions, because they seem so small, but they impact us so much. Because one of the other things is like the thing that we always think is like, it's the big decisions, the big things that is going to make a big difference. But one of the things that we forget, because most likely we've not been taught, I've not been taught, is that the little tiny actions that we take in alignment with like our body, our inner wisdom, that is what's really going to shift us. I'm not going to say like the big things won't shift us, they will, but it's like the little decisions, the little things that are happening that are really are doing the true work behind it, the real shifts behind the shifts. That's not what that, but the real shifts behind everything that's happening behind your transformation goal that you are looking for, just to feel more connected and just to be more aligned with your body, feel more grounded. Well, to feel more grounded, what do you need? Like, what do you need to do? You actually need to slow down. Start listening to your body. And that's like one of the things. Sorry, I just had to sort of pause and almost like laugh about like the tangent that I'm going on at the moment. As you can tell, I'm just all I do is channel what comes through. But all of this is happening within our death and rebirth portal that we go through every single month as women. And I've been saying for like the last year is like, I feel like a new woman every single month, because like since I've been doing like a lot of womb work and like really connecting to myself and the inner wisdom and the inner knowing, like every month feels like I'm shedding so much. And I'm glad, as I said in the beginning, I'm really glad that I've done these lives, because you could be in like this death and rebirth portal with me over the last 3 days in real time. You could see what was going on, and I almost felt like I was at like that low point, which, you know, the first few days within a cycle, it is you're in that cave, you are like meant to be like really cocooned in, whereas I obviously was like out there like doing my lives. But I'm so grateful for like sharing this and for like the wisdom of the death over the past 2 days to like drop in this morning. And it's so funny because with this death, like there's a rebirth coming as well. Like, and when we think of rebirth, it's not so, oh, I'm a new person. It might be just something has more aligned. And for me, that's definitely the case. Like something that I've been like working through within my business is like what do I call myself? Like the identity kind of thing, like the job title as such. And for a very long time, I really struggled with that. And this morning it sort of dropped in. And what I'm doing at the moment, because I like to, as I mentioned yesterday, I like to make decisions like really fast. I'm actually sitting with it and I'm just letting it like marinate and just see if that feels like really aligned. Because I thought before, like, yeah, it feels really aligned, and it didn't. So I'm just, but that is sort of the rebirth part. And I'm just like, also for me, like the rebirth part is almost like something has switched. And it's like almost like I've got not that passion back, but that fire, just like that everyone needs to know about this work and how amazing it is. And whereas, like, as I said, like in this death portal over the last few days, where all of these, like that this conditioning came in again for me, I've lost that fire, but I can definitely feel that fire is definitely like burning and come back like almost stronger. And that is like the rebirth part, right? And it's, as I say, it's not like anything on the outside. I've not changed at all, but it's like layers being peeled back. And I did journal that, like it's like another layer has been peeled back to come back to like my deepest, truest self. Because I believe like it's almost like an onion where we keep peeling back the layers, just to go even deeper into like our true selves, our like feeling really connected and in our own power, etc. And for me, like the past, like this death and rebirth portal, it's just definitely like 1 or 2 layers have been peeled back, like more has been shed that's not actually mine to hold in the first place. So if you want to go deeper on this work, you have got 2 options to work with me at the moment. I have my 6-month one-to-one journey, The Woman Within, where we like really tailor all of the sessions to you, go on like really deep journeys, like do all of that like lovely inner work just to peel back those layers and like really reconnect you with that true self. Or I have you can work with me in the on like a monthly subscription basis. Talk slower. Where the cost of a cappuccino a month, you get access to like a women's circle a month, plus like loads of different practices to like really get back to you. There are already some lovely practices and also circles online for you to dive into. And I say that is a monthly subscription basis of the cost of a cappuccino. But all of the details are below. So if you want to have a look at that, also just if you want to have a chat, just get in touch. But for the moment, thank you so much for joining today of this lovely conversation of the Death and Rebirth portal, and I will see you tomorrow.